This is Pepper, and she's a barn owl.
She dances?
Kind of, a little bit. She's probably sizing up this, trying to figure out, hey, is that cool?
How old is Pepper?
Pepper is 5 years old. So she is an East Coast bird. She has speckles. The West Coast birds don't. It's very interesting. But I've talked to a friend of mine who lives in Alabama, and he says, yeah, all of the owls are speckled.
Wow.
So that here. But this is the typical owl for North America, because they are come from the family name Titonidae, and there are 16 different subspecies. But this is our typical. So what she's doing too is, their face is dish-shaped. That dish collects sound. The feathers on the face are called phyloplumes, and they move that sound down to their ears. Their ears are on the same place as yours and mine, but one is up and one is down. They have a part of their brain called the medulla, which helps them to process the sound. So they can process sound instantly. Is it to the right? Is it to the left? Is it up high? Is it down low? So, good girl. So their hearing is so acute that they can hear a mouse heartbeat 30 feet away. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Yeah, they're great rodenticide. Yeah, they catch all. These guys can eat 1,000 to 1,500 mice a year. I mean, they can eat a lot of mice. So if they were given the opportunity, they would be great rodenticide. But it's just interesting. Those phyloplumes are on the whole of their body, and it lets them know when they have feathers out of whack, So it's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Another thing that's interesting is their silent flight. So when you're holding her, you'll notice that the edge of her feathers are serrated.
Wow.
Like this.
Yeah. Oh.
And that serration cuts through air turbulence. There is a video on YouTube. Have you seen it?
They compared the sound.
Where they had two birds fly and they compared them, yeah. And these guys are silent flighted, so it's kind of interesting. Another thing that's interesting is that not all owls hoot. Of the 244 owls around the world, only 10 species hoot. The rest make different vocalizations. Barn owls screech. Pretty good too. But interesting is that with silent flight, so you can't hear them, but all you hear is a screech. Folktales. Every country has some kind of folklore, so it makes it kind of interesting. Another thing that's really cool is a lot of what you're seeing is feathers. So if you have a bird that's this size, this is the size of the bird underneath. So they're quite a bit smaller. I can't show you on Pepper, she does not like to be touched. But if I remember, or if the diva's next. If the diva will let me, I can show you how deep the feathers are. It just kind of depends. She's either gonna be really good or she's gonna stare at me the whole time like, you're gonna get it. So they can turn their head 270 degrees. Or 3/4 of the way around. Now the reason they can do that is they have 14 vertebrae in their neck.
Wow.
You and I have 7 in our neck, so we can turn our head 90 degrees. But because they have so many, they can turn it all around 270. And it's interesting because the blood veins that run through the neck, they don't get pinched when they turn it. They turn with the head. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Now
It's okay, she'll be back. She'll be back, Pepper. Yeah, she's chill.
Yeah. Yeah, she's real good with people.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's interesting, they have a weaker sense of smell and taste than other birds do. So great horned owls are known for catching skunks.
Who has the longest? Who has the biggest wingspan?
I think it's the great gray owl.
Wow.
That's the biggest owl. It's a great gray, and I think they've got a good 5-foot wingspan.
Wow.
Okay, what I have
Sure.
is I have pellets. It's interesting. Owls have a weaker digestive acid. So when they eat, it goes into the proventriculus or the stomach, the acid is released and it dissolves up the meat so they, and they digest that. The bones and the fur or feathers or whatever it is that they ate goes down into the ventriculus, which is like a gizzard, and all the stuff that gets packed into a little ball. And then it's coated with an enzyme so they can cough it up.
Wow.
It's just like cats with hairballs. That you can see the molars.
Wow.
So go ahead. She is a Eurasian eagle owl. Of the 244 owls, the Blackiston fish owl and the eagle owl are kind of tied for second largest. So she has, I think, a 4-foot wingspan. I don't really know because I'm not good at guessing, but these guys in the wild live in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Northern Africa. Now look at the difference between the feathers on her feet and the feathers on the barn owl. Quite a bit different.
Wow.
She actually is being good. Now she will either decide that she doesn't want to do this anymore and jump ship, or when I try to pick her up, she'll jump ship. But she's got pretty much a Monday go to work face. So, her name is Henson.
Henson.
Because when I got her, she was supposed to be a boy and she looked like a Muppet.
That's funny because she does look. Oh my god.
600 psi in these feet.
Whoa.
That's a lot. A Rottweiler's bite is only 350. So that's how tight. When I was training her, she would get a little bit nervous and she'd bury her head in my chest and she would hold on tighter. Well, this is an eagle glove and it has 3 layers of leather. When I took my glove off, I had little purple dots.
Wow.
Oh, let me show, look at how deep.
Wow.
That's a lot of feathers.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, I think she is too. And she's got the orange eyes. European birds have more of the darker eyes than they do here. She is related to the great horned owl, but they have gold eyes. But they're still, related. They're hooters. And she hoots, but it's different. It's ooh, ooh, like that. And then she has the tufts, just like the great horned owl does. And those tufts, like I said, can kind of tell you what they're thinking. Like today she's doing okay, but if she gets real mad, she looks like this. Wow. This is a picture of her when she was cranky.
Really?
Yeah, this is her. And she kind of furrows her brow and she gives you a hard time.
The laughing crow?
No, that's a Harris's hawk. It's a hawk, yeah.
The laugh, huh?
Yeah.
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah, they kind of cack.
Her spin of the head is fast, like as you're spinning that, she's
Yeah.
adjusting to
Kind of interesting.
swivels. Yeah, those eyes.
I know. She's really something. That's why it's interesting. When I got her, I thought she was a boy, and she lived in my house. It was so cute because when she'd sleep, she'd lay on her stomach and her legs would stick out behind her. And so she played with the dog's toys, and she would sit on our feet and she would watch TV and she would just kind of put her around. Well, one day she flew to my couch and I said, no, and I put her back on her perch. She looked at me, turned and looked at the couch, turned back and looked at me and flew to the couch. And I went, oh, we've got an attitude.
Yeah.
So I taught her how to do a bunch of stuff. I taught her to fly back and forth of 2 perches. And I taught her to step up and step down like the other bird. And I taught her all kinds of stuff. And then all of a sudden she just stopped doing it. She'd just fly to the ground and it would be nothing. So I called a bird trainer and I said, hey, what's going on? And I told him everything. And he says, oh, you have a girl. And I go, is this a bad thing? And he goes, yeah. So there's a group of falconers that fly these birds because they fly during the day and night. They're crepuscular, so they can fly them and not break any laws on hunting because they actually hunt with these birds. So they call themselves the Female Eagle Owl Training Support Club.
Whoa.
Because once they hit puberty, it's all over. And that's why she just looks at me. We talk back and forth, but she hisses at me and all kinds of stuff. But she's so pretty. You know, I figured she can just suffer a little bit.
Diva, I don't know who said it, like owls are like flying cats.
Oh, yeah.
You know, 'cause they can be kind of dramatic and
Yeah.
little whimsical and have like their personalities, you know? Like cats have personalities and they embody that.
She just really gets to me. I just really think. And look at all the different patterns. Her wings are different, her head, everything is kind of different, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. So she's probably very well camouflaged in the wild. Now in the wild, she eats anything she wants, but they will get small deer and hare and stuff like that, which are pretty good size, but she's got the grip to hang on, you know? And they have probably the same problem with predators, anything that hunts at night, you know, these guys can have a problem with. I feed her gophers. My neighbor catches gophers for me. Rats, I catch rats. And I don't feed squirrels because there's no meat on them. They're all fat and, you know. But she eats mice and stuff like that. So she does pretty good. She likes her gophers. Eagles, hawks, and falcons have 3 toes in front and 1 toe in back. These guys, see how he has 2 toes in front and 2 toes in back, but they can move this last toe, so they have 3 in front and 1 in back, so they get to move theirs.
Wow. Yeah, super cute.